Warm welcome to the Leica party. Or at least we thought we were going to a Leica party, but I don't think we are. But still, we'll try and get proceedings on a roll and to be finished for those rushing for both the concert and Eurovision at 8 o'clock. Welcome to all those joining us all around the countries in bars, shebeens, community centres, and whatever you call your father. Now, could I just introduce our distinguished guests behind me? Starting on my right, I won't say extreme right, my right, National President Jerry Sweeney from Ballinasloe. Next, Chairman of the Southeastern Region, Colin Moles. Our well-known AIMS Administrator for Killarney, Fiona Sheeran. And last but certainly not least, our National PRO, Kate Furlong. And without further ado, I'll call on National President Jerry Sweeney to say a few words and start off the proceedings. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to St. Michael's Theatre in New Ross. Greetings to anyone attending in person here in the theatre, to viewers joining from across Ireland and around the world via live stream platforms. The occasion tonight is the announcement of the 2025 AIMS Awards. I would like to acknowledge the work that our two adjudicators, Therese Marr in Sullivan and Pat McElwain in Gilbert, have done through the year. They have reviewed over 100 productions between them. They faced very tight schedules and extensive travel. They were tasked with selecting exceptional performances for the AIMS nominations. We wish to acknowledge their dedication and their professionalism, and we are very grateful for the work that they have done. To our programme adjudicators, Brian Gunning and John Graydon, thank you so much for your work in diligently going through all the programmes from all the shows around the country. Best wishes to John, who is taking a well-deserved break. And we welcome Brandon Cogley as the new programme adjudicator. We would like to acknowledge Brian and John for the exceptional work that they have done throughout the year. To our AIMS liaison officers, Laura Ryan in Gilbert and Clodagh Farrell in Sullivan. They manage the administration and communication between societies and adjudicators. No easy job. They ensured that the process ran smoothly and efficiently. To our awards administrator, Fiona Sheeran, Mila Bulabus, thank you so much. Anybody that has ticket queries for Killarney, please contact Fiona. We are grateful to this year's sponsors, Nomac Productions Theatrical Costumes, DBL Lighting and Sound, Really Useful Group, and Theatrical Rights Worldwide. Thank you so much. We welcome all from far and near to celebrate each rising star. With talent bright and spirits high, tonight we cheer, we laugh, we cry. To all who sang and danced and played, a round of thanks is deeply paid. Now let the nominations shine. It's AIMS Award time. Our announcement team are all ready and eager to go, so let the announcements commence. I will start with the Mary Kelly nominees for 2025. Elizabeth Gregan, nominated by Bray Musical Society. Valerie Haslett, nominated by Londonderry Musical Society. Jacinta Kavanagh, nominated by Carnew Musical Society. Frances Leahy, nominated by Ballinasloe Musical Society. And Jackie McQuillan, nominated by Sullivan Musical Society. I will now pass you over to Colm.
Okay, moving swiftly on. Best Programme in the Sullivan, sponsored by Nomac Productions. The nominees are Bellevue Academy Performing Arts Clonmel for West Side Story, Castlebar Musical and Dramatic Society for Sister Act, and Ulster Operatic Company for Legally Blonde. Best Programme in the Gilbert section, sponsored by Nomac Productions, Galway Music Society for Sweeney Todd, Port Leash Music Society for Guys and Dolls, and St Mary's Choral Society Clonmel for Disney's Beauty and the Beast. The next award is for Best House Management Sullivan, sponsored by Nomac Productions. I had a theatre group for Me and My Girl, for My Musical Society for Shrek the Musical, and Sullivan Musical Society for Oklahoma. Best House Management in the Gilbert section, sponsored by Nomac Productions. Ennis Musical Society for the Witches of Eastwick. Mitchellstown Musical Society for SpongeBob the Musical. And Shannon Musical Society for Cry Baby the Musical. Best Visual in the Sullivan section, sponsored by Nomac Productions. Clane Music and Dramatic Society for Sister Act. And the Scorty Music Society for Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And Ulster Operatic Society for Legally Blonde. Best Visual in the Gilbert section, sponsored by Nomac Productions. Galway Music Society for Sweeney Todd. Nina Choral Society for their Youth Academy, Shrek the Musical. And Tullamore Music Society for Jesus Christ Superstar. Best Technical in the Sullivan section, sponsored by Nomac Productions. Bellevue Academy Performing Arts for West Side Story. Odd Theatre Company for Sunday in the Park with George. And Pop-Up Theatre Sligo for Sweeney Todd's. Best Technicals in the Gilbert section, sponsored by Nomac Productions. Galway Music Society for Sweeney Todd's. Thurles Music Society for the Hot Mikado. And Wexford Light Opera for the Dankastan. Best Stage Management in the Sullivan section, sponsored by the Really Useful Theatre Group. Ahada Centre Theatre Group, Me and My Girl. Stage Manager, Aoife Ryan. Londonderry Music Society for Oklahoma. Stage Manager, Christine Dean. Sullivan Music Society, Oklahoma. Stage Manager, Stephen Hannigan. Best Stage Management in the Gilbert section, sponsored by the really useful theatre group. Oyster Lane Theatre Group for A Christmas Carol. Stage Manager, Colin Murphy. Port Leash Musical Society, Guys and Dolls, Stage Manager Anthony Kirby. And Tralee Musical Society, The Clockmaker's Daughter, Stage Manager Des Hurley. I'll now pass you over to Kate.
Hello everybody, hope you're well and enjoying the nominations so far and enjoying it from wherever you're looking at it on your link. Anyway, onward with the nominations. The nomination for Best Choreography in the Sullivan section, sponsored by the Really Useful Group, are Glencullen Dundrum Musical Society, All Shook Up, Londonderry Musical Society for Oklahoma, and Pop-Up Theatre Sligo for Sweeney Todd. Best Choreography in the Gilbert section, sponsored by the Really Useful Group, Jack Cunningham Productions for Crazy for You, I think there's a few Jack fans in the house. Leakslip Musical and Variety Group for Our House. And UCD Musical Society for Little Shop of Horrors. On we go to Best Chorus in the Sullivan section, again sponsored by the Really Useful Group. Clane Musical and Dramatic Society for Sister Act. Dunleary Musical Society for Maid and Dagenham. And Odd Theatre Company for Sunday in the Park with George. Best Chorus in the Gilbert section, again sponsored by the Really Useful Group. Ballinrobe Musical Society for The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Entract Dublin for Sweeney Todd. And Galway Musical Society for Sweeney Todd. On we go to our little stars. Best Youth Performance in an Adult Show in the Sullivan section. This award is sponsored by DB Lighting. The nominees are Eleni Green as Brigitte in The Sound of Music with Boyle Musical Society. Emma Shirlow as Charlie Bucket in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Ballywillan Drama Group. And Molly Sparling as Wednesday Adams in the Addams Family Newcastle West Musical Society. Best Youth Performance in an Adult Show in the Gilbert section, again sponsored by DB Lighting. Sky Gracie as Brigitte in The Sound of Music, St. Patrick's Choral Society, Downpatrick. Sean O'Callaghan as Young Will in Big Fish, Harold's Cross Musical Society. And Darren Scully as Chip in Disney's Beauty and the Beast, St. Mary's Choral Society, Clonmel. Best Comedian in the Sullivan section, sponsored by DB Lighting. Jack Fitzgerald as Donkey in Shrek the Musical for Moy Musical Society. Brian O'Riordan as Gerald Bollingbrack in Me and My Girl, Ahada Centre Theatre Group. And Aaron Stone, Alan Malady and Art McGarren as TJ, Pablo and Joey, Sister Act, Clane Musical and Dramatic Society. Best Comedian in the Gilbert section, sponsored by DB Lighting. Andrew Doherty as Shrek in Shrek the Musical with Avonmore Musical Society. Sean McMahuna as Frankenfurter in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Maynooth University Musical Society. And Paul Morey Stout as SpongeBob in SpongeBob the Musical, Mitchelstown Musical Society. Best Comedian in the Sullivan section, sponsored by DB Lighting. Mary Dempsey as Grandma in the Addams Family, Claire Morris Musical Society. Aoife Deegan as Leonora Frigid in Crybaby the Musical, Ross Cray Musical Society. And Gemma Galvin as Lady Jacqueline in Me and My Girl, Ahada Centre Theatre Group. Best Comedian in the Gilbert section, Antonia Kloss as Frau Burr in Young Frankenstein Wexford Light Opera. Again, I think she's a few fans in. Giulietta Fox as Alison in Crybaby the Musical, Shannon Musical Society. And Yasmin Azui as Little Sally in Urinetown, Malahide Musical and Dramatic Society. Best Actor in a Supporting Role, Sullivan, again, sponsored by DB Lighting. Ruan Gormley as Lurch in The Addams Family, Claire Morris Musical Society. Aidan McLaughlin as Will Parker in Oklahoma, Londonderry Musical Society. And Dermot Vaughan as Lord Farquaad in Shrek the Musical, Fermoy Musical Society. Best Actor in a Supporting Role in the Gilbert section. Taylor Hines as TJ in Sister Act with Coolmine Musical Society. Connor Lyons as Hugo Coco Chanel in Everyone's Talking About Jamie. Key Players Musical and Dramatic Society, Waterford. And Cian Murray as Riff Raff in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Maynooth University Musical Society. Best Actress in a Supporting Role in the Sullivan section, sponsored by DB Lighting. Leah Henderson as Serena in Legally Bond, Ulster Operatic Company. Aoife Kelly as the Beggar Woman in Sweeney Todd, Pop-Up Theatre, Sligo. And Jan O'Sullivan as Maria, Duchess of Dean in Me and My Girl, Ahada Centre Theatre Group. Best Actress in a Supporting Role in the Gilbert section. Annie Bulger as Magenta in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Maynooth University Musical Society. Aoife O'Connor as Pretty in Everybody's Talking About Jamie, Key Players Musical and Dramatic Society. And Hannah Wright as Anita in West Side Story, Bravo Theatre Group, Loughrea. That is it for me. Enjoy the rest of the nominations. I'm going to hand you over to the lady who's going to be working very hard after this ends, Miss Fiona Sheeran.
Spot the vertically challenged person. Right, moving on to our lovely actors. In Best Actor in the Sullivan category, Gavin Maloney is Chad in All Shook Up, Glencullen Dundrum Musical Society. Adam Skeffington as Eddie in Maid in Dagenham with Nina Choral Society. And it's the Chad face-off. Josh Winters as Chad in All Shook Up with Baldoyle Musical Society. Best Actor in the Gilbert section. And our nominees are Damien Hurley as Edward Bloom in Big Fish with Harold's Cross Tala Musical Society. Kevin Reid as Ebenezer. And for those of you at home, for Ebenezer Scrooge in A Christmas Carol with Oyster Lane Theatre Group. And Andrew O'Grady as... as Jamie New in Everybody's Talking About Jamie with Key Players Musical and Dramatic Society. Best, oh, be quiet. Best Actress in the Sullivan category. Sally Fox as Gertrude McFuzz, the musical, UL Musical Society. Ellen Stapleton as Mother Superior in Sister Act with Clane Musical and Dramatic Society. Orla Williams as Dot and Marie in Sunday in the Park with George for the Odd Theatre Company, Newbridge. And Best Actress in the Gilbert section. Helena Brosnan Donlan as Constance in The Clockmaker's Daughter, Tralee Musical Society. Lorraine Jackson as Calamity in Calamity Jane with St Agnes Musical Society, Belfast. And Grace Kinnerans as Mrs. Lovett in Sweeney Todd, Entr'acte, Dublin. And moving to the gentlemen, Best Male Singer in the Sullivan category. Luke de Belder as Curly in Oklahoma with Londonderry Musical Society. Peter Manning as George in Sunday in the Park with George for the Odd Theatre Company, Newbridge. And Richard O'Sullivan as Joseph for Enniscorthy Musical Society's Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat. Best Male Singer in Gilbert. Carl Dawson as Pilot in Jesus Christ Superstar with Teachers Musical Society. Jamie Hennessy as Drew in Rock of Ages with Trim Musical Society. And Peter Manning as Shay in Evita with St Mary's Musical Society, Navan. And Best Female Singer in Sullivan. Alva Lone as Rita O'Grady with Maiden Dagenham, Nina Choral Society. Emma Stack as Dolores in Sister Act with Clane Musical and Dramatic Society. And Ella Terry Sweeney as Fiona in Shrek the Musical, Letterkenny Music and Drama Group. And Best Female Singer in Gilbert. Sarah Corcoran as Esmeralda in Hunchback of Notre Dame, Ballinrobe Musical Society. Ali Fleming as Pearl in the SpongeBob Musical, Mitchellstown Musical and Dramatic Society. And Jenny McCabe as Ava in Evita with St Mary's Musical Society, Navan. Best Ensemble in the Sullivan section, sponsored by the Really Useful Group. And the nominees are Baldoyle Musical Society, All Shook Up for Jailhouse Rock. Fermoy Musical Society for Shrek the Musical, Freak Flag. And Londonderry Musical Society, Oklahoma for the Dream Sequence. And Best Ensemble in Gilbert, also sponsored by the Really Useful Group. Leakslip Musical and Dramatic Society, Our House for Baggy Trousers. Malahide Musical and Dramatic Society, You're in Town for Snuff That Girl. And North Wexford for their production of Spring Awakening and Left Behind. And that is more than enough for me, so I'm going to hand you over to Frank.
Now, where are we? We have an awards ceremony. Now, Best Choreographer in Sullivan, sponsored by Theatrical Rights Worldwide, and the nominees are as follows. Lauren Dooley in Maiden Dagenham with Dunleary Musical Society. Therese O'Sullivan in Shrek with Fermoy Musical Society. And Matthew Watson, Legally Blonde with Ulster Operatic Company. Best Choreographer in Gilbert, again sponsored by Theatrical Rights Worldwide. Laura Douglas, Rock of Ages with Trim Musical Society. Leah Marr, The Wedding Singer with Northeast Musical Society. And Claire Ty, Jen Dawson with Our House with Leak Slip Musical and Variety Group. Best Musical Director in Sullivan, and again sponsored by TRW. And the nominees are Niall Kelly in West Side Story with Bellevue Academy of Performing Arts. Anne Keelty with The Sound of Music, Boyle Musical Society. And Dave McGarn with Oklahoma with Tullyvin Musical Society. Best Musical Director in Gilbert, again sponsored by TRW. Patrick Clancy. A Christmas Carol by Oyster Lane Theatre Group. David Hayes, Young Frankenstein with Wexford Line Opera Society. And Andrew Robinson, Calamity Jane with St. Agnes's Belfast. I could feel the tension. Best Director in Sullivan, sponsored by TRW. And the nominees are Jennifer O'Brien, Sister Act with Clane Musical Society. Keane O'Dowd with Sunday in the Park with George with Odd Theatre Company, Newbridge. And Tony Finnegan with Legally Blonde, Ulster Operatic Company. Best Director in Gilbert, again sponsored by TRW. Stephanie Brown, Shrek the Musical, Nina Choral Society Youth Academy. Oliver Hurley, The Clockmaker's Daughter, Tralee Musical Society. And Niamh McGowan, Sweeney Todd, Untracked Dublin. On to the Adjudicator's Special Award in Sullivan, again sponsored by TRW. Ahadas Centre Theatre Group, Me and My Girl, for being the essence of professionalism, youthful exuberance and utter team players, to Hannah, Charlotte, Jim and Joni. Enniscorthy Musical Society, Joseph, for their camaraderie, energy and full commitment to the hatred of Joseph, Evan, Paul, John, Frank, Chris, Shane, Richard, Evan, Sean, Brian, Niall. And UL Musical Theatre Society for Susigal, for Eamon O'Malley, for stepping into the breach and maintaining poise and professionalism. Adjudicator Special Award in Gilbert, again sponsored by TRW, for a stunningly performed show with a cast of 4, Eaton, Killian, Colum and Connor. Muse Productions for Forever Plaid. For exceptional stagecraft, musicality and comic performance, Darrell and his four witches, Mark, Bronwyn, Keelan and Nicola, with Newbridge Musical Theatre for the Witches of Eastwick. And for an outstanding performance after only 1 day's rehearsal, Neve Parks as Frau Blucher with Rush Musical Society for Young Frankenstein. Ooh. Best Overall Show in the Sullivan section, again sponsored by TRW. And the nominees are as follows. Ahada Centre Theatre Group Cork, Me and My Girl. Plain Musical and Dramatic Society Sister Act. Dunleary Musical Society for Maid in Dagenham. Odd Theatre Company with Sunday in the Park with George. And Ulster Operatic Company with Legally Blonde. Best Overall Show in Gilbert, again sponsored by TRW. Nominees are, with Sweeney Todd, Untracked Dublin. Leak Slip Musical and Variety Group with Our House. A Christmas Carol with Oyster Lane Theatre Group. Tralee Musical Society with The Clockmaker's Daughter. And last but not least, Trim Musical Society with Rock of Ages. And just to finish, well done to everyone. And just to finish proceedings, sincere thanks to our sponsors, Nomac Productions, DB Lighting, Really Useful Group, and Theatrical Rights Worldwide. All ticket inquiries, as said, to Fiona, and it will be streaming of the events from Killarney in June at a small cost due to rising costs and that of €10. Sincere thanks, back to the Leica party, and congratulations to everyone.